Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? So a couple of you might wanted to know the strategy that I use. So I'm gonna quickly go on FX replay, and then I'm gonna pick a random date. Let's just pick February this month, and then to the 21st. Cool. We're gonna save this. Click this. Starting off with a 50k account. Doesn't matter what account size you have. This is not about that. It's about strategy. So cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to 3 o'clock New York time. No, 10 o'clock New York time. So that's about 3 p.m. London time, England time. And then what I will do, so I'll go to next day open. Change this to New York. So what I would do, step one, you want to go to the 4 hour time frame. You want to kind of find the bias. As you can see, you have a big gap here, opening gap. And normally when market has a big gap like this, market goes up to fill it. But we'll see. That's why we don't rely too much on the 4 hour time frame. Normally price likes to fill in this gap. But other than this, we don't really know what the bias is because we've just been consolidating since flipping last year. So we don't look at the 4 hour too much. It's just to give us an idea. And then what we will do is we'll go to the 5 minute time frame. We will mark out a 5 minute high. Flipping now. We'll mark out the 5 minute high. Let me go to this tool. Let me go here. Mark out this 5 minute high. These lows here, of course, you got these lows. And you want, actually I'll mark out this one here because I want this to get broken. And then you wait till one of these gets broken. I wouldn't class this as a break, it just swept it. You want a candle closure below, just like that. Then you go to the 1 minute time frame. Once you get a candle closure below this, that further confirms that we're in a downtrend, more often than not. And then what you would do is, what's the time now? 11 past. Keep clicking. Cool. So now you see here, yeah, supply zone with a fair value gap. Okay, so this is what you want. Let me go through it again. Mark out 5 minute high, go to the 5 minute time frame, 5 minute high, 5 minute low, wait for one of these to get swept. You also can look to your left side to see if there's any points that market might want to come down to that would further confirm your bias for a downtrend. But yeah, mark out 5 minute high, 5 minute low, wait for one of these to get swept. As you can see, the 5 minute low got swept. You have a supply zone with a fair value gap, which is a plus. The only issue here is this big fair value gap here. So that's the only thing that I would bear in mind if you were to take the setup here. You have a fair value. You got to make sure that you're looking out for all of these things on the market, because price could tap you in, act like it's gonna keep going down, and then just come up to fill this fair value gap, and then continue to lower or just go higher. So you gotta keep these things in mind. But what we will do is we'll see if this trade plays out. So I want to wait till market taps back in. Market didn't tap in, so this supply zone now invalid. I wouldn't class this as a fair value, as a supply zone. You can. The supply zones don't necessarily need to have a fair value gap. It's just better if it does. But let's just say you marked out this one. Market already tapped into it multiple times. I wouldn't take this. So you want to wait till another one, see? And this is why you don't rush into it. That's why you don't rush into this one, because market already tapped in to this supply zone twice, and if you would have took it, you would have got absolutely fucked. So now you just want to wait. Now market's pushing to the upside. It swept all of these highs right here. Swept buy side as well. So now what I would look for, what's the time? 10:26. What I would look for is a buy. My bias has changed now. It swept these lows, took out all of this liquidity here. It took out all this liquidity here. Swept, big impulse move to the upside, took out buy side liquidity. Like I said, if you go to the 4-hour chart, you have this big gap here, so market might want to come back up into this big gap to fill it, which most likely is now. So now my bias has changed, right? And the time now is only 10:30, so you still got half an hour left till you see a setup. So now what I would want is a supply zone to form. I'd want one of these candles to break. Structure. Okay, so it broke structure. Then I would want to see what happens here. Fair value gap, supply zone. What's the time? 10:41. Still in our time frame. Want to wait till it taps in. If it does tap in. 10:55. No trade. So now this 5-minute high got swept. Looking for buyers. Broke structure to the upside. Left for supply zone with fair value gap. Market comes back down into it. That's good. Nope. Got another one here. Tapped in. Long position right here. Stop loss below the supply zone. Targeting a 1-to-1. Place order. 1% risk. Save. Taps you in. Hits TP. That's basically the strategy. Let me go over this again. What you do, go to the 5-minute. Time starts at 3 o'clock UK time. Mark out a 5-minute high, 5-minute low. Wait for one of these to get swept. As you can see, the 5-minute high got swept. So now my bias is bullish. I go down to the 1-minute. Wait for a supply zone to form. As you can see, I marked out this supply zone. Did not get tapped into. Kept pushing up. Broke this structure here. Left the supply zone with a fair value gap. Perfect A+ setup. Didn't push up too much. The maximum for an A+ setup, what you want is a supply zone, a push up with 2 or 3 candles. Here it was just 2 candles, 1, 2. Then you want it to come back down, wick into the supply zone and the fair value gap. Entry here, target a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, whatever you're comfortable with, and then that's pretty much it. I'll try to do another one, see if I can hit a TP on the next one. I'm gonna go to the next one now. This is a Tuesday. What you do is you mark out 5-minute high, 5-minute low. I think this was news. Then you wait for one of these to get swept, closed. You want it to close above. There we go. So it closed above. And then now what you want is a supply zone to form for a buy. There we go, supply zone, impulse move up. Now we want another candle. There we go, fair value gap is formed. We want it to come back down into this, wicked in beautifully. So now what you can choose to do is you can wait for a next candle to form, or you can place your entry here, stop loss below the supply zone. Oh shit, wrong one. Place your entry here, stop loss below the supply zone, targeting a 1-to-1, place order on 1% risk, save, then you enter, and you hit a 1-2-1. Simple as that. And the reason why I wouldn't wait for another candle, a white candle or whatever candle color yours may be, to show that it's bullish, I wouldn't wait for another candle to form, because as you can see here, if I waited for this next candle to form, my entry would have had to be up here. And then that's just, you get me. So you just want to put your entry, when it taps in, put your entry above this candle, and then if another candle does push down and then another candle pushes up, you can move your entry down so you can get a higher risk to reward. But yeah, strategy is pretty simple. I'll go over it one more time. Mark out 5-minute high, 5-minute low, wait for one of these to get swept. As you can see, the 5-minute high got swept. That shows that we're in a bullish, we're bullish. And then what you do is you wait for a supply zone to form. You don't want a big push up. You want a couple candles to push up, as you can see, 1, 2, came down, wicked in the supply zone and the fair value gap. Entry above this candle, targeting a 1-to-1. If you wanted, you could do a 1-to-2. Pretty sure it would hit a 1-to-2. Let's see. 1-to-2 would be here. Yeah, hit a 1-to-2. So whatever you guys want to do, just, I would say, backtest this strategy so you get familiar with it. There won't be a strategy every single day. Make sure you're taking A+ setups. This is an example of an A+ setup. Make sure you're taking A+ setups, or if there's not an A+ setup with a fair value gap where it wicks in the supply zone, blah blah blah, reduce your risk. And in that way, you preserve your capital, you don't blow your funded, and you just practice discipline. But yeah, this is the strategy. Anyone who has any questions, let me know in the Discord. I will make another video on this for my TikTok page as well. And yeah, bro. So hope you guys like this this demonstration.